Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you a new build in my series, Building Nancy Drew in The Sims 4. Today we are doing another apartment build for a character in the Nancy Drew series whose home we do not see in-game. This is a fun little addition to the Nancy Drew builds that I've been doing because I really enjoy designing a space for a Nancy Drew character just purely based on their personality and the way that I imagine they would live in real life. So today we are doing an apartment for another character that was requested by some of you lovely fellow detectives. This apartment is for Sonny Joon. I had a lot of fun doing this apartment and I was going for a very specific style. This apartment is in the Spice District in San Myshuno and it's in one of the older buildings. So I imagined that this particular apartment is definitely more run down. It's been kind of around for quite a while. Many people have lived here. And because we know that Sonny kind of travels the world and goes all over the place, he doesn't really stick in one place for very long. I imagine he wouldn't have an apartment that he would really make feel homey. It would definitely be more of just kind of like a stomping ground. This is a place where he can come in between jobs, in between work commitments that he has found for himself. Whether he's following Nancy or she's following him, who knows, but they always seem to end up in the same place. And I really think that idea is very fun, that Sonny is just kind of bouncing from place to place, and in between bouncing from place to place, this is where he lives. So it's not terribly fancy. It is pretty grungy. The furniture is all kind of just pieced together. It's old, it's not high quality. Some of it has holes in it. Some of it looks like stuff that maybe he found in a dumpster and just kind of salvaged for himself. None of it is very new, none of it is very fancy, and I really like how that looked turned out. I also definitely imagined that because we know that Sonny is kind of into some interesting ideas, like he is very much into the idea of aliens and the Anunnaki. He's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, so I decorated this apartment with a great deal of things from the Strangerville game pack, and I made the apartment super messy. We know this about Sonny when we look at his workspaces from previous games. The desks where he used to work are just piled with things. There's papers everywhere. And I think part of that is that Sonny is definitely a very creative personality in that his brain is kind of always going. He has a really hard time just kind of focusing on one thing and staying on one thing. He's doodling all the time. He always has these ideas that he's looking for. And we learned a little bit too about kind of his family history and how he's basically been on like a big journey, a big seeking journey his whole life as put forward by his grandfather. So really, Sonny's mind has a lot of clutter because he's constantly thinking of things, and so I wanted his living space to also have a lot of clutter. Sonny is not about to, clean the kitchen. He's not about to throw things away. He's not about to put things away in cupboards and make sure that everything has its place. He very much is just kind of finding places to put things, whether that's the floor, whether that's near the garbage cans. He doesn't really care because that's not what his mind is focused on. That's not what he is busy on. He is all consumed with trying to figure out the mysteries of the universe when it comes to aliens and things that we just do not really know about. So, of course, he isn't going to have a spotless apartment. I used a lot of items from the debug menu. I used a lot of trash items. I used papers everywhere, and I just had a really fun time. I feel like this apartment ends up looking very realistic. I have definitely seen apartments like this in real life. I have definitely been in them. I can imagine somebody living here, and I can really imagine Sonny living here too. The only things that really look kind of new and fancy are all of the star artworks that I put on the walls. So anything space themed, the things that you can usually get by using the telescope, the observatory item in The Sims 4, you can get these really cool prints of like space objects. And I liked the idea that there are a few things that Sonny is very particular about, and he would have these framed because he feels like each one of them has unlocked a secret to his plan. So he has like a picture of this galaxy on the top that helped him figure out a clue in his journey that his grandfather left him, or this asteroid. And he has like little knickknacks that he's taken from offices. Like I kind of imagine that he took that bonsai tree from Manette's office and then just plopped it down next to the end table there. I absolutely can see Sonny being somebody who kind of like pilfers things from offices periodically. Nothing major, nothing valuable, just little things that he gets attached to and that nobody will really miss. So he just kind of takes them and he gives them a new home. I could absolutely see him doing that. I think it's very much within Sonny's character. So again, I used a lot of things from Strangerville, put those all over the place, just clutter items everywhere, things under the tables, things on the tables, things on the walls, lots of crazy items, things that don't match, things are very mismatched and worn. Is absolutely this style. And you might have noticed already that this is a 2-bedroom apartment, so I imagine that Sonny has like a revolving door of roommates. He's super vague in his listing when he's like getting roommates up, but he needs to have roommates in order to keep this apartment because he needs like that extra income, because I mean it's a 2-bedroom apartment. It's a pretty nice place size-wise, not upkeep-wise, because Sonny isn't really focused on that. But I think he is constantly losing roommates because of how he lives. Like Sonny leaves this place an absolute mess, and I feel like roommates would get fed up with him so quickly. So I eventually designed the bedroom on the right-hand side to be for Sonny's current roommate, who is very like clean and tidy, and I can just imagine the fights that these two have, where this roommate comes out in the morning and Sonny is like sprawled out on the floor with papers spread all over the place in the kitchen, and this roommate is just like desperately needs to get off to work or off to school or something like that, and is just so annoyed. I kind of love that idea. I really enjoy that, and I'm sure Sonny is completely oblivious to this, or if he knows that it's happening, like if he knows that he's annoying his roommates, he doesn't care. It's just not on his agenda. It's not something he's bothered with. It's not something that's impacting his life at this current moment. So as long as he can get someone in the door by maybe fudging the listing a little bit within the ads and making sure that people don't see the apartment before they move in, I think that's what he does. I think that's how this generally works, which is kind of fun. I enjoyed that storyline quite a bit. So we make everything very mismatched here. Nothing quite matches, nothing quite fits. Everything is very dirty and industrial. This is the vibe that I bring into Sonny's bedroom as well, with a lot of the alien posters, a lot of the conspiracy posters, and then the other little room ends up being his office space. So I fill that in with a bunch of alien type items, a bunch of cool decor, and I use lava lamps to really maximize the lighting effects in these spaces so they look very mysterious. Can totally imagine Sonny just spending more than 24 hours in these rooms, not paying any attention to time whatsoever, trying to work out the mysteries of the universe, or designing a new pamphlet for his organization for Spide. I just love that idea. He's not about getting a nice bed. He found this bed in a dumpster. That's not on his agenda. It doesn't matter to him whatsoever. But unraveling the mysteries of aliens, that is absolutely everything that matters to him. I did make a lot of use of platforms to make the walls in this apartment smaller as well, because the apartments in a lot of the San Myshuno buildings are just, the walls are so high and it looks so weird. So I used platforms to bring this up at least a little bit, so the only floor that is actually like the full length of the walls is that entryway at the very beginning. So yeah, this is Sonny's apartment. I really enjoy how it came together, and you guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think as well. But I also wanted to mention too, it has been about a year since we had our first stream, really, as a channel. And I just want to thank you all so much for being a part of this community, being a part of this space. I've realized recently that this channel is one of the only places in my life up to this point point where I had really felt like I could be authentic and where I could be real. I didn't have to hide my love for the Nancy Drew games. I didn't have to hide my love for The Sims. I could talk in depth about these ideas with such an amazing community of people who loved them the same way that I did. And that is just so incredibly meaningful for me that I was able to find this space with all of you where I could truly feel authentic and really be more of myself. And I'm learning to be able to do that in more spaces as well, beyond just YouTube. That's something I'm really working on. And I truly don't know that I would have been able to get part of that way without the support of all of you. So thank you so much for being a part of this community. I sincerely hope that this is a place where you feel that you can be your authentic self too. You don't need to hide who you are. You can be a part of this community and really just enjoy hanging out with our fellow detectives in your fullness. I really hope that that's the case. And if it ever is not the case, please let me know in the comments. Send me a message in Discord, because I want this to be a welcoming space. I want this to be a space where we can feel safe and comfortable talking about things and really just being a little family, a little community on YouTube. So if you ever don't feel that way, please let me know, and I would love to try to repair that for us, because it means so much to me to be able to have this space, and I want you to be able to have that space too. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Really thankful for all of you and really thankful for the community that we have grown together. You guys mean the world to me. So now we're finishing up this little office space. I love this office space. I think it turned out so great. I love the blue lava lamp because I think the lighting is perfect. And actually in live mode, that little alien thing pulses and like spits fluid, which I think is just so funny. It looks totally like something that Sonny would have in his office. He'd be poking and probing at this in his free time. And then every once in a while, you know, he would pull up Indeed and find a new job randomly, and then he would jet set off to there and leave his poor roommate alone for 3 months, and then come back and completely destroy the apartment again with his papers and his conspiracies and his ideas. And I love that dynamic. I think I could totally see Sonny doing all of that. It was so fun making such a cluttered apartment too, because like I said earlier, I just feel like it looks so much more real. I mean, realistically, none of us, or at least most of us, don't have a perfectly clean and spotless, manicured, designed home. So it's fun to do these once in a while and really, really give them that mess that makes them look lived in and makes them look really authentic. That's the word of this video, is authentic. So I do hope that you enjoyed it. We are coming up on the screenshots here very soon. As always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Nancy Drew and Sims 4 content. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.